guys, Steve here, BS Slot Cars. I want to show you the slot cars with the different scales from HO all the way up to 124 scale, the difference in who they would be for and how much room they take up and stuff like that. Here they are. You could see the difference. This is the 124th, 132nd, 143, and then the HO. We'll compare them real quick side by side. Same cars. I tried to, but they don't have one in the 143, but it's still a Corvette. That's 124th, and this is 132nd. Next to the 143 scale. Next to the HO, which is tiny. And then here is HO scale next to the 143. And then here is 143 next to the 132nd. So I'll tell you right off the bat, the 124th scale, you need a large track, large area to put up a track. And also, when you get a lot of these cars, they take up a lot of room in your house. And then the 132nd, not too much, a little bit smaller track than the 124th. It's not much of a difference to me. And the cars, they still take up a lot of room, but nowhere near as much as the 124th. But they do pile up, and you gotta find space for them. You go nuts. And then you got the 143 scale, which you could actually make a track, a nice type of track on a small layout, probably a 4x8 sheet of plywood. If you want to go longer. Kind of the same as HO. It's not much different, the track. You could almost do the same type of track with the 143 as an HO and take up the same amount of room, maybe a hair larger, but it's not that much difference compared to when you go to 132nd scale. It's a lot bigger because 143 has sharper turns. And then the HO is obviously the smallest. You could make a track on a smaller table, but the cars are small. You could collect hundreds of these in a little bit of space. These 143 scale cars also, you could collect a lot more and have more room to put them places. It's when you start getting into bigger scales, you kind of find yourself stacking them over here. They'll be over there. Everywhere you turn your head, you'll find cars. That's one thing that I like about the smaller ones. You could put them in a matchbox case and have a whole bunch of them. Whereas these bigger cars, you can't. They take up way more room. But they're fun, the big cars. And let me tell you what I think. The HO cars are for the younger guys, like the HO cars for the speed. And I guess they could see them better because I used to like them when I was younger. Now that I'm older, I'm leaning towards the bigger scales, because even on this track, when you set up a track like mine, the Polycar track, I run all these scales on them with little modifications to the cars. These ones, you just put the braid on the shoes and a little a straw on the guide there, like that, and they run on this track. So we run all the scales on this Polycar track. And like I said, these HO cars, so fast, even stock with just the stock tires and everything, these Mega Gs, they're wicked fast. You could put them on like 23 volts and they are fast. You need fast reflexes, and when you get older, in your 50s, you kind of lose it, I ain't gonna lie. And they're blinding, but these are a nice size. You run these, we run them on 16 volts. They say 14.8, but on this track, like 16 volts is real nice with them. So we like these a lot. They're actually a nice size. we wish they had more aftermarket support for like parts and like maybe more hop-ups and stuff. They're kind of like you get them and you run them and you tweak them by hand and that's it kind of a deal. But they're fun cars. You could see them easy. They're not as fast as these, but they're in between. If you like HOs that are fast, these are comparable. They're fast and they stick like glue, but they're a better size where you could see them. So if you want fast and you could store cars and have a nice size and have a nice track size without building a huge table, the 143 scales are really nice. I like them. My sister likes those a lot too. She has a whole bunch of them. And then you got the 132nd scale. There's gazillion cars, parts, anything. You could switch all parts on these, hop them up, do anything you want with them. That's the nice part. And then you have to build a larger track like I have here. This is a 4 by 16 foot table. And I have a little bulge out there by that turn. So it's a little bigger than 4 right here. Probably like 5 inches wider. They're nice. You could do anything with them. They look really good. The detail's really good. The detail on the HO got better with these AFX Mega Gs. Then these are a step above. And this is these two, the 124th and 132nd, are kind of the same. Maybe a hair more detail on the bigger ones. But 132nds, the all-around, they're for detail and performance. And if you want to race and switch parts, I say they're the best thing to race. Then there's the 124th. That's the most detail, but it takes up a larger space in your house for a track and storing them, like I said, but they're really nice. And then the last thing about the cars are 132nd, you got digital, which my track's analog. They have digital where you could change lanes and stuff like that. Also with the 124th. They used to have it with the Carrera, but they don't have it no more. And they'll never have it with HO, as we all know. So if you like racing, like it's kind of like an app with all like, it's kind of like a video game where you could do tire changes, pits and all that stuff, and run 6 cars, I believe, on each lane. You want to go 132nd or the 124th because they have digital versions. Whereas, like I said, this, I think they had digital at one point. They don't have it no more, the Carrera Go cars. And HO, hell would have to freeze over for them to change anything like that. They don't even make the track wide enough for these cars right now as it is. That's a problem. But anyhow, guys, that's it. The scoop on the scale size. Let me show you them again. And that's the difference of them. It's all up to you, what you like racing, the room you have, and the room especially when you have to collect these cars, because they do take up a lot of space when you run with the bigger ones, like I said. Whereas these little guys, you could just put them in a little case. So that's my take on the scales. They're all fun to race against each other, no matter what slot car it is. If it's the small one, if it's this one, that one, or old-fashioned AFX T-Jets, if you're all racing them, if they're slow as snails and you're racing them, it's just the same amount of fun as a fast one. So it's all up to you. I hope this helps you guys with the scales. You can see the difference on them. They're all Corvettes, by the way. I think you noticed that by now, but that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think, what scales you like, or if you're crazy like me and my sister, we like them all, so we race them all on our 132nd track. Check out our videos, and we'll see you next time. Later, guys. BS Slot Cars out.